Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome back to my channel, The Time in Between. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel, The Time in Between, where I hope to help you live a more intentional life so you can live a more purposeful life, making the most of the time in between. So today I was going to talk about something that I struggle with, and I have struggled with for many years. And it's setting goals and sticking with them. And I'm talking about it particularly in the beginning of the year because usually that's when we set goals for the year and set resolutions for the year. But if you're like me, by mid-January, you feel defeated, you feel discouraged, you feel unmotivated to stick with your goals. And a few reasons for that are, when we start in the new year, there's this like anticipation and this expectation and new beginnings. And, we're coming out of the holiday feeling and the new year, but then we have to get back into our everyday lives, our schedules, our routines, and these goals that we have made, these resolutions that we have made, they don't fit into our lives. And we realize that, we could keep them up for maybe like a week or two, but by the time we hit the third week or maybe the end of the January, we're exhausted because we cannot maintain these goals that we have set because we realize that we've had to press pause on our life in order to work on our goals. And so today I wanted to talk about 3 simple steps that you could implement, that I have tried, that you could try to see if it helps you in setting goals and sticking with them. So the first step, when you have your list of goals, we're still going to stick with that. If you've written out a list of goals for the year, we're still going to stick with that. But we're going to just start with one. So that's the first step. Start with one. Pick one goal on your list that we're going to start with. So if your goal is to be healthier this year or to develop healthier habits, how can you break that goal up into smaller pieces? For example, you could have exercise, eating healthier, drinking water. So that's an example. So the first thing is to pick one. The second thing is to make it smaller, to break it up into different smaller goals. And the third one would be make it doable. Because a lot of times the reason why we cannot stick with a goal, another reason why we cannot stick with a goal, not only is it too broad, it's too vague, but it's unrealistic. It's not doable. It's not something that we can flow into our lives. It's something that interrupts and disrupts the flow of our lives or the schedule of our lives. So we don't have the time to do this thing that we're trying to stick into an already busy schedule. And a common example is a lot of people get a gym membership at the beginning of the year because we like the idea of, okay, I'm going to get healthy. So naturally, the way to do that is to exercise, and let me just get a gym membership because it is easy to go and buy a gym membership. And in your mind, you're thinking, yes, I'm definitely going to go to the gym. I'm going to do this whole thing. And when life starts to get back to its normal schedule off of the holiday schedule and off a New Year's schedule, and you find it frustrating because you cannot squeeze time to go to the gym. And so that's why a lot of times too, it's easy for us to get discouraged and unmotivated and just kind of be like, you know what, maybe I'll try next year because this isn't working out, because it's not realistic. We haven't made it doable, our goals doable, so that they will flow into our lives and flow with the schedule of our lives. So an example of that would be to, instead of getting a gym membership, how can you make exercise doable in your schedule? Well, there are a lot of exercise apps that we can get on our phones now, and we can do it in the convenience of our home. And you can do them for different time periods. Some of them are as little as 5 minutes to start off with, and a lot of them you don't need any exercise equipment. So I have done that before where I am unable to get outside the home enough to have time to go to the gym. So I've got an exercise app on my phone. And the cool thing is that you can choose what fits in your schedule even on that day. So if you want to keep up exercising, but say for today you only have 5 minutes, you can choose an exercise that is 5 minutes. If you have more time, you can choose an exercise that is more time, that has more minutes, that's more time. So that is something that you could do that can actually flow into your schedule, that doesn't disrupt your life, that you don't have to press pause on your life to actually accomplish. Another example, again, under the banner of becoming healthier, is switching out healthier food. A lot of times we want to revamp the whole meal plan and start healthy. And there are a few things with that. If you're a mom with little kids that you have to cook for, a lot of times you're probably not going to like that healthy meal immediately. So you'll find yourself doing extra work. And then also it takes a lot because it interrupts your schedule, your normal flow, because I'm sure you're used to having certain meals and planning certain meals. So one way that we can approach that smaller goal to make it more doable is there a meal that you can switch out? Like just one meal, maybe just try one meal, maybe lunch, maybe switch out lunch for a healthier option, or even to make it smaller, to switch out a snack for a healthier option. Instead of, your normal snack, choose a healthier snack. Because when we start to accomplish these smaller goals, we will see ourselves moving in the direction of the bigger goal, bigger overarching goal that we have. When we make it smaller and into bite-sized pieces, so to speak, and also where we don't have to stop and put pause on life in order to accomplish these goals. Because if we have to put pause on life in order to accomplish our goals, then all the other things that we have paused, they are going to start falling on the wayside. And then we're going to feel overwhelmed and frustrated because while we're trying to accomplish a goal, it feels like everything else is falling apart. So that is why it's so important that when we make goals, we not only make them small, but we make them doable. What is realistic? How is it going to fit into your life? Not how is your life going to fit around the goal, but how is this goal going to fit into your life and flow into your schedule? And the great thing is when we start to accomplish these smaller goals, we will be able to see a clearer path towards the bigger goal that we want to get to. And when we do keep making these smaller goals, and so for instance, say, when you have the goal of exercise and, we gradually add them into it as our schedule allows. And as we are able to we gain even more momentum because now we are being able to accomplish these things. And it's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's not about how much of it you do, but that these things that you're implementing, it is making a lasting impact. Because a lot of times if we try to do too many things at one time, we can't do any one thing well. And so in starting with one and in starting with making it doable, we will be able to see change and we will be able to actually be investing quality time into this. And even if the time is just 5 minutes, it is still making a lasting impact because it's still moving you towards your end goal. And so these are the 3 things that I have tried to implement and continue to implement in my life. And they kind of help me to get out of that New Year rut when I'm feeling like, we have to get back into the normal schedule. But these are things, you have goals that you want to accomplish, but breaking them down into smaller goals and not only making them smaller, but making them doable, making them realistic to fit into your life. And I believe that in doing this, it will help to motivate you even to get out of that New Year slump. Because once you are able to accomplish even a little bit of what you want to do, even if it's a small step, it's still moving you into the direction that you want to go towards the bigger goal. And I realize for me personally, that helps to motivate me and encourage me to keep doing it, especially when it doesn't feel like an extra added thing, something else that I have to keep track of. It's something that actually flows into my schedule. And just keep in mind that even if you aren't always able to, say you miss a day of eating healthy, or say you miss a day of exercising, when it's a smaller, more doable goal, it's easier to get back on track. Because it's not like you have to rearrange your schedule to get this thing back into your schedule or back into your life or back into your routine. This is something that you can easily pick up and, keep doing. And it's not about being perfect. It's not about, doing it every single day and being perfect. If you miss a day, it's okay. It's about just being consistent with it. It's about, you may miss a day or two, but that's okay. You pick it up the next day and you keep doing it. So I hope that these 3 simple steps will be helpful to you. I know that they are helpful to me. Again, you're going to just pick one of your goals off your list and you're going to break it down. How can you make it smaller? How can you make it into smaller goals? And then you're going to make it doable how is this goal, to accomplish this goal, how will it be realistic in your lives? What is a realistic way that you can accomplish this goal? What is a doable way that this goal can flow into your life and go with the flow of your life instead of disrupting it, making it a lot harder to maintain, and often not being able to stick with it? So I hope this video has been helpful to you, and if you'd like to comment below and let me know of the one goal that you'll be starting with and how you're going to make it doable. If you like this video and you want to see more of them, you can like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Well, I won't be seeing you, but you know what I mean. I'll bring you more content to help you and encourage you to live a more intentional life so you can live a more purposeful life, making the most of the time in between.